So how do you create a brand that truly represents who you are and the products you sell, as well as building a business that you can scale online? That is what this podcast will help you do. My name is Henry Kaminski Jr., and welcome to the Brand Doctor Podcast.
Let me just make this statement loud and clear. Jersey's here, Jersey's here.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to another Brand Doctor Podcast. So I will start this episode by talking about a recent experience I had online. I was tagged in a post recently about personal brand coaching, and it was talking about how people should never invest in personal brand coaching. And I was wondering why I was actually tagged in the post to begin with. I don't know if it was a dig to me towards what I do for a living, working with coaches and consultants and speakers. I don't know if I ever deemed myself a personal brand coach. Maybe he was just looking for insights from somebody who studies personal branding as deeply as I do. I don't know. But he brought up a really good point about personal brand coaching. So I wanted to shed some light on what I thought personal brand coaching is, to give you guys some insight, because you guys may be thinking about investing in your personal brand or building a personal brand online and may be confused on what exactly it is and why you should do it in the first place. So let's talk about what personal branding is for a second. So I found a definition online that I really, really enjoyed, and I felt it was a great depiction of what personal branding was. Now, forgive me, I forget the author's name of this book, but he defined personal branding as the crossroad between how you perceive yourself and how others truly perceive you. Okay. And he went on to explain that the larger the gap between how you perceive yourself and how people actually perceive you, the more people struggle. When that gap is shortened, meaning you know who you are and people see you truly as who you are, there's alignment. And they tend to have more success in their business and in their personal life and so on. So I really enjoyed that definition. And when I go on interviews, when people ask me what personal branding is, that's the definition I use, because I find that to be really, really true. I'll give you a quick example. You know, when I was growing my business early on, we're talking 13 years ago, right? I was trying to be somebody I was not. I was trying to be this tough guy. I was trying to be somebody who thought he had everything, or perceived, he wanted everybody to see him as he's put together. He knows what he's doing. There's nothing this guy doesn't know. And that was so far from the truth. I was an early entrepreneur. I was just starting a business. I didn't know anything, but I kept putting this front on like I knew it all. And you couldn't tell me anything because I didn't want to show my weakness, right? I struggled for years to get over that. And it wasn't until I got some mindset coaching that I really faced those demons and skeletons head on and realized that until I become a better person, my business will struggle. And so I shifted my focus on trying to be something I wasn't to being a better person, being a better husband, being a better son, being a better friend, being a better cousin or nephew. And when I started to dive into more personal development stuff and personal growth stuff, I started to see a shift. I started attracting different people in my life. I started to do better work. Okay. So the argument that this individual who posted about personal brand coaching a couple of days ago was there. I guess there's coaches out there that are prompting people to be something that they aren't based on market research, meaning you should be the person that your ideal client is attracted to. right? And to be honest with you, I think that's a recipe for disaster because it's not authentic. It's not transparent. And most people have a sixth sense. They know when somebody's bullshitting you or bullshitting them. And they can see right through that. So whatever coach out there is telling people to, be somebody that your audience wants you to be, I think is not a coach at all. I think is a complete idiot. And don't listen to those people because they're going to send you down a rabbit hole that you're never going to be able to get out of. And you're not going to be fulfilled with the business and the work that you do because you're trying to be somebody that you're not. Instead, let's look at our expertise. Let's look at our superpower. Let's look at us as an individual and look at our uniqueness. Look at our values. Look at the mission that we are setting out as an entrepreneur. Look at our vision. And let's get really clear on that. Let's get really clear on that. And let's stand behind it 1,000% and move forward and attract the folks that have similar values, similar missions, similar visions. Don't be somebody you're not. That is the stupidest piece of advice I could ever, that I ever heard. So it's not about investing in a personal brand coach. It's not. I think and I agree with the person who posted this on Facebook. It's about investing in personal growth. It's about becoming a better person. I put this on Instagram not too long ago. I said, if you want, well, actually, no, it's going to come out this week in an Instagram carousel post, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. It says, if you want to attract better clients, become a better human. How do you become a better human? Well, you invest in yourself. You invest in your business. You invest in becoming a better version of you every single day. That's personal brand. But, personal brand, again, is another definition is what do people say about you after you leave the room? What do they say about you after you leave the room? That's really what your personal brand will be defined as. It's not what you think. It's what they think. So aligning that up is crucial. But how do you line it up? Well, you have to stay true to yourself. You got to stay true to yourself. This nonsense of trying to be somebody you're not is ludicrous. And the reason why I say this, and I'm so comfortable in saying this, is let me bring you back to another story. Back in my earlier days, my late 20s, when my business was really the first 24 months of my business, there was so much money coming in, I didn't even know what to do with it. I couldn't even spend it fast enough. And what was happening was I started to become very pretentious. I started to buy things and flaunt things and flash things, in front of my family members, in front of my friends. And my friends that really knew who I was didn't understand why I was doing what I was doing. And a couple of them called me out on it, including my wife at one point. She was my girlfriend at the time, but she's like, Henry, I've been here way before or right when you were starting this business. So I remember you when you had nothing. I don't need the flash. I don't need the fancy cars or the fancy vacations or the fancy shoes. I don't need any of that. I just want the Henry that I met 2 years ago. That's who I want. And there was this insecurity. When I look back, I think about why I was doing what I was doing. And in my opinion, I believe it was just pure insecurity. I wanted people to think of me in a certain way. And I wanted to show people that I could do it on my own and be successful and, without anybody's help. And there was I had this chip on my shoulder and I had a lot to prove, but I was doing myself such a disservice because here's what was happening. when I was becoming that person, I started to attract more people like that. I started attracting more pretentious people in my life. I started to attract people that really didn't give a shit about anybody but themselves. And I remember I got dumped on a couple times, and I remember what that felt like. And I said to myself, why is this happening to me? And I'll never forget it. I had a coach at the time that said, Henry, why is this happening to you? Take a look at the actions that you're doing. Look how you're treating people. Look how you're showing up in the world. You're just getting what you're putting out. And it's coming back and slapping you in the face even harder than you're dishing it out. Start to change how you treat people and how you show up into the world. And watch what happens. It's almost like the law of attraction, right? I'm not super into that stuff, but I do believe it. I do believe that there's a universe out there that's way bigger than what we think it is. And when I started to put out more positive vibes, when I started to be true to myself, when I started to really not worry about what other people thought and did things because I truly wanted to do them, not because I was worried about what somebody else was going to think of me. When that all lined up, my life changed. My life changed. My business changed. We just had a record-breaking month in June, right? And when I have record-breaking months like this, I ask myself, okay, how did this happen, Henry? Let's reverse engineer this. What happened? And there's a few things that happened. And I'm going to share with you. And I want you to do the same thing. There's a couple of things that happened. One was I subtracted instead of added to my business. What does that mean? Well, I got really, really clear on what I wanted my service deliverable to be. What is that? That is the Brand Accelerator program. That is the only service that I want to offer. People are going to be thinking, oh my God, you're crazy. You're only going to have everything funnel into one stream of income and so on and so forth. Listen, I know what I want in my life. And it's the Brand Accelerator program to go on to serve people and help them with a systematic way of building their business online. Okay. And building a personal brand that they're really proud of. All right. Taking their expertise and giving them the ability to scale that into a 6 and 7 figure business like I've been able to do. Right. So I subtracted. I focused all my energies on the Brand Accelerator program and making it the best I can possibly make it at this point. Now we're still trying to make it better. Okay. With client feedback and, with me learning new things every day, I'm making this program better and better every day. So that's number one. I subtracted. I focused on one thing. The second thing that I did was I realized what kind of messaging I was putting out. And I made sure that the messaging was clearly focused on the client that I was looking to serve. Right? And these are coaches, consultants, speakers, more or less personal brands. When you look at my roster, a majority of it is personal brands or those folks that want to leverage their expertise and grow and scale. Not to say that I don't have some clients that are businesses. Like right now we're working with a solar company in New York City. That is a legit brick and mortar, right? So we do have some clients like that, but I got really specific with my messaging and that helped me attract the right client. So if you were to ask me, like, what do you want to be known for? Like, what is your positioning statement or what is the one thing that you do better than anybody else? And when my team and I explored this question, we found this. I have an amazing gift that I give to people, and that is clarity. So when people come to me and they want my help and my team's help, we give the gift of clarity. And I do it through the Brain Accelerator program, and I do it through my content that I put out here every single day. Like this piece of content that I'm creating right now for you is trying to give you more clarity on what personal brand coaching is and what it is not, and what you should be really investing in when it comes to growing a personal brand coaching consulting business. And it's really focusing in on personal growth and becoming a better person. That's what you should be doing when it comes to personal branding. Okay. So those were some of the things. So I got really clear on what my offering was. I got really clear on who I wanted to serve. And I got really clear on my purpose, which is giving people the gift of clarity. When we can operate in a clear state of mind, it's crazy. It's crazy what you're able to accomplish. I was telling one of my clients the other day, and then I'll wrap this up because I have a call in about 5 minutes. People talk about vision boards all the time, right? And I always thought they were kind of cheesy. I'm not going to lie, right? Vision boards, create this vision board and it will magically appear. Everything that's on that vision board, it will magically appear over time. Man, so I didn't quite do the vision board where I'm cutting out pieces of magazine articles and things like that and pasting them to a board. I just went on Pinterest, created a board called My Vision, and I started to put things on there. Like silly. I'm not going to call them silly, but they're things that I really want, like a patio for my backyard. I was interested in purchasing a boat, but when I realized how expensive boats are to maintain and upkeep and all of that, I decided a different route, and I decided to go the boat club route, where you can basically join a boat club and you have access to their fleet of boats, and it's less maintenance, and it's pretty awesome, especially if you're like me and you're just starting out in boating. It's a great way to get get your license and to really learn how to boat from instructors and things like that, right? But crazy things have happened this month. One, we're breaking ground on a patio. Two, I just passed my boat exam on Saturday, and I'm going out today for my actual, it's not a test, it's more of an orientation where you go out and you actually go out with an instructor and he teaches you the lay of the land of the lake, and you actually get to drive the boat. And then after this, I'll be able to reserve slots to take my family out on boats and things like that. But man, this vision board came to life, right? In literally 30 days. So now what I'm trying to do is add more things to this vision board, because here's my mentality when I think of adding things to my vision board, right? It's not just about material things. Okay. I want you to understand that, one. But number two, I want you to understand that it's okay if you have material things on that vision board. Okay. As long as it's what's motivating you and it keeps you fired up. But here's the one line that I tell myself when I am working and when I am trying to develop something to help other people. Listen, having your vision board, Henry, is a fantastic motivator. But let me be very clear with you. And this is my conscious talking to me, right? Henry, you don't get any of that stuff on that vision board unless you do great work for people. I am a firm believer of that Zig Ziglar quote. When you help other people, when you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. So Henry, you want this, you want to do this boating club for multiple years on end. You want your patio. You want to go on a nice vacation next year. You want all this stuff. You have to do great work for people. Otherwise, none of it will happen. And so there, my friends, is how I feel about personal brand coaching, what it is, what it isn't, how I've achieved a record-breaking month this year, what I've done inside of my business to get the clarity and the return on investment that I've been putting down for myself I'm constantly trying to become a better person. I'm constantly trying to become a better father, husband, son, family member, friend, aunt, uncle, whatever, right? When you focus your energy there, great things are going to happen in your life. Okay. If you find a coach out there that is trying to tell you to do something that you are not, get rid of them and get rid of them fast. You are going to find yourself in a pickle. My apologies, Dante just ran in my office and bum rushed the whole scene. It's okay. I love when that happens anyway, because pretty soon he's going to be looking at me like, Henry, Daddy, you're not cool anymore. So I cherish these moments. So have an amazing day, guys. I hope this provided some clarity for you as to what exactly personal brand coaching is and what you really should be investing in if you want a great personal brand for yourself. So have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next episode real soon. Take care. Hey everyone, this is Henry Kaminski Jr. again. And really quick, I want to invite you to a one-on-one consult with me right now if you're looking for the clarity and focus you need to build your brand. Over the past 13 years, I've served hundreds of entrepreneurs that have great products but struggled tremendously with articulating its value to their ideal customers. You didn't get into business to just change a few lives, did you? Your ideal clients need you. And when your brand has precision-crafted messaging coupled with beautifully thoughtful design that sounds, looks, and feels like you, they'll know you're the perfect match for them. If this is something you're struggling with, what I want you to do right now is pause this audio and go visit www.uniquedesigns with a Z at the end, not an S, .net, and book your one-on-one consult call with me. Remember, the quality of your brand will determine the quality of your clients, and the quality of your clients will determine the quality of your life.